Welcome to a very impromptu episode of the Boxing Talk with Andi Social News TV podcast.
Oh, I like that.
I'm your host, Rob Tebbutt. It is 2:19 on Friday morning.
11:19.
11:19 if you're at home in the UK. We are, the day of the night before the Joshua Ruiz 2 weigh-in here in Saudi Arabia. I'm joined by my significant other, the lovely Andi Purewal of Boxing Social and soon to be Boxing Social. Andi Oladipo, also known for his fantastic work over at Boxing Talk with Andi. Been a good week here in Saudi Arabia. So, I don't know, get us started, Andi. Kick us off. Tell us a little bit about your journey to Saudi Arabia for this heavyweight rematch.
It's we have covered the fact that it's like 2:19 in the morning, right?
2:19 or 11:19.
So we are lagging a little bit here, guys, but we're going to try and give you our best work here. I've enjoyed it, to be honest. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Apart from not being invited to the black tie event.
Yeah, that was a shame.
Yeah, we weren't invited. Others were, but hey,
Andi
went. Well, he's dressed at you like he was invited. No, but it's been fun. I think the press conference was good. I think the public workouts were good. Look, Joshua Ruiz is what we're all here for, but there's some good undercard stuff as well. Povetkin Hunter, so many people were talking about that fight. Dillian Whyte's back. Look, it's good that he's back. Obviously, there's that cloud over his head, but regardless, he's back, which is good. We want to see these fighters fight. It's the only way they get paid, so let's see what he can do. I'll tell you who I'm really keen on saying, that young Hopi Price. Just to see what he can do. I mean, let's see what he can do. He's fighting a guy that's got a winning record, which is quite rare for your second fight. You normally have guys that fight guys that have got like 50 or 60 losses. So that's pretty good. Pacheco, that kid from the US as well.
Massive 6'2" middleweight or super
ridiculous.
middleweight.
I think this is his first fight at super middle.
6'4" middleweight.
Yeah.
7 wins, 6 KOs.
So look, I'm gonna enjoy it.
Good work there, Ben. We've actually got Ben Farooqui from Boxing News TV is our fact checker, looking up all things that we don't know the answers to. Well done. You missed the Monday, the meet and greet, didn't you?
I did.
So
I wasn't invited again.
So what Matchroom have been doing, they did it, I think for the first time that I can remember, was the first fight in New York. Get the media involved for kind of like a meet and greet on the Monday. Adi didn't arrive until the Tuesday, but we were there on the Monday. Sort of I don't know, it's strange. It was in like a shopping centre, but it was, I didn't really know what to expect. I mean, we literally got off the plane, myself and you, and went straight there. You ran around and did a lot of the interviewing. What did you make of the first day?
It was very different in comparison to New York, because when he was in New York it was mainly just a British media, whereas this time around obviously you had a lot, the Saudi media were there as well, and it was just a lot more rammed and everybody was just on top of each other. So obviously we don't necessarily have the best of access to the main fighters, so we're just trying to get huddles with those guys alongside the one-on-ones with Adam Smith, you did Manny Robles, amongst others. So it's obviously the best day for us to try and get something with the main fighters, but it's also a struggle because we're not seen as one of the larger outlets, shall we say, if that's the right word.
There we go. I think for me, more than anything, it's like, is you have a lot of media there all looking for their kind of pound of flesh, so to speak, so it can be a little bit crazy. So yeah, it was an interesting one. Yeah, right. Rather than go through the week, let's talk about the fight. Joshua versus... We've not planned any of this. It's a very ill thought together process. Something that you do at 2:23. We've been talking for 4 minutes now, still haven't done anything. Talk about the fight. Joshua Ruiz won first. Let's go back to the first fight. We were out there, Andi. Any inclination from you before the fight as to what we were like, what we saw that night at Madison Square Garden?
I don't think anyone realistically outside of probably Ruiz's camp would have anticipated he was going to turn up. And
they didn't even anticipate it. I don't think they really thought he was going to do that. I generally don't think. I think they thought, you know what, give him a good fight, maybe take him some rounds, get another callback to fight again, blah, blah, blah. I don't think they really expected to shock the world on 4 weeks' notice.
I don't know, because I mean, all the rumours that were coming out, or all the talk coming out of his camp was that he was flying. He had the camp on the back of the Alexander Dmytrenko fight. I remember, and this is something that I mentioned about the workout, which was on the Tuesday of this week. I remember seeing Ruiz in New York and seeing him on the pads and thinking, oh, hello, like
Yeah.
not obviously seen Ruiz fight before, but like being that close to him and seeing him hit the pads, I was thinking, whoa, he looks in pretty like rude form. But at the time, you're thinking it's just a shame you're fighting Anthony Joshua as a late replacement because you're going to get filled in.
Yeah.
But obviously that didn't turn out. I think this time coming around, I don't know how you felt, and obviously you had arrived in Saudi by the point of the public workout. I didn't really feel quite the same this time when I saw him on the pads as I did in New York.
No, it's not surprising anymore, is it?
Yeah.
That element of speed. But I will say this, I thought his footwork, which everyone's saying is not as fast as his hand, understandably so, he's not Manny Pacquiao. You know, he has Kieran around a little lumber there. But I do think his footwork is fast as well. Like, it closes the distance very fast. I mean, I don't know how much that is his trainer going to him on the pads as opposed to him coming forward. But I think, you know how scared I am already. And I'm a British Nigerian. I'm AJ, but I'm frightened for him. I have to be honest with you. Frightened. He doesn't look. I don't know. We just think of AJ as this bulldozer, big, strong heavyweight that's going to run through someone. And you kind of feel like when those guys do have or find adversity, mentally, what does it do to them? I don't know. And mentally, I don't think he looks on his A game. I think
everybody really has a tendency to sort of overanalyze the psychological stuff and the mental side of things. Like, we're all psychiatrists and sports psychologists and stuff like that. I do think AJ turned up slim, so everyone automatically assumes he's going to be on the back foot. But everyone you literally talk to people from the print media, and like half of them will be like, because we didn't get invited to the media day. But the guys who went up to Sheffield for AJ's media day, which is something they do every year, they kind of bring the print guys, and they used to bring some of the online guys, not so much anymore, up for the day. I spoke to half of them, and half of them was like, yeah, I wasn't convinced by him. And then the other half, who were equally as knowledgeable, equally as experienced, were like, well, I thought he said all the right things, and now I'm picking him to win. So I think there is a little tendency, it's always around big fights, where people kind of look at people's demeanour and kind of the way they speak in interviews and automatically assume that's kind of how they're going about it. I mean, like Ruiz, for example, in the first fight, everyone looked at him taking the belts of AJ and were like, oh, look at this guy, he's just here for the paycheck, he's just here to have a go, look at him, he's like a little fan, and then obviously he goes in there and turns into a little killer.
I just feel like this time around, when we've seen Ruiz this week, he doesn't have, when you look back and you reflect, you can kind of see where Ruiz had that kind of, he's going to look like a fan, but he's here to do a job. Whereas this time around, I don't feel like he has that same aura about him.
Yeah, potentially.
For as stupid as he might sound to say.
But the pressure's on him this time, man. I know Manny Robles, and obviously the pressure on Joshua is massive as well, but Ruiz has got more pressure on him in this fight than he had in the last fight, definitely.
John David Jackson, though, funny enough, said, look, he won the lottery the first time round, because that was his biggest paycheck for combined pretty much. He's won the lottery again. He said there isn't much pressure to win the lottery again in the third one. He's got 2 paychecks that he probably never thought he was going to get. He's earned we're guessing around $20 million combined. If he wins again, then it's another lottery ticket, right? Because he might get a Wilder. I don't think there's much pressure. If I'm honest with you, I think all the pressure, if I was to kind of do it as a scale of 0 to 100, I think 80% of the pressure's on AJ. 20 on Ruiz.
When I say pressure, I don't necessarily mean in the sense of, oh my God, I can't, what if I lose, and blah, 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 blah. But I think pressure from, being on, that was his first fight really on the big stage. I mean, people can say what they want about the venue being in Saudi Arabia and blah, 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 but I mean, this is a big fight. This is a really big fight. Much, much, much bigger than the first fight. And I think, AJ, like him or not, think he's going to win or not. I mean, he's done Wembley, he's done the Millennium Stadium twice. Obviously, Madison Square Garden, unfortunately for him. And he has been there. He's boxed in London 2012 Olympic Games, the home games, as the home favourite, and won the gold medal. He's been there and he's experienced these big things. That's one thing that, again, overanalyzing probably the psychological side of things, that I thought Ruiz, potentially, it was a little bit, oh shit, we're here now. This is a big deal. So I don't necessarily think it's pressure in a sense of, oh my God, what if I lose? Because as you mentioned, he's done very well financially. He will always now be the first ever Mexican world heavyweight champion, which he'll always have that to cling on to. So I'm not sure the pressure necessarily relates to that.
Plus, he doesn't want to be thought of, and this is no disrespect to Buster Douglas, but he doesn't want to be thought of as a Buster Douglas. The guy that shocked the world and almost just vanished. He wants to be thought of as someone that can actually be there and have legit fights. And he's named to be mentioned, as fights possible against Wilder and Fury. We're still doing the Joshua versus Wilder and Fury. No one seems to do Ruiz versus Wilder and Fury. He's probably thinking, you know what, you guys are underestimating me again. He is the underdog going into this fight as well, which is ridiculous. He put Joshua down 4 times and got rid of him in the 7th round. Yeah, he's the underdog going into this fight. He mentioned at the press conference, I've been doing this since I was 6. I mean, you think about that. Joshua's been doing it since he was, 18 or 19?
Yeah.
He's got 12, 13 years on Joshua.
I think it's that switching mentality from champion to challenger, and it's how he's coped with that through camp, and how has he managed to find another gear to ensure that he's going to stay ahead of whatever AJ can bring on
I still
Saturday.
think he has a mindset, because people saying he's not favourite, that he is the challenger. I think people think it's a case of, people have been saying, is Joshua going to win his belts back? Like they somehow belong to Joshua. I think he's thinking, you know what? I'm the challenger here again. People think I'm an underdog. I'm going to prove you wrong. Plus, I mean, look, let's be honest, it's probably going to be 12,000 people there. I know it's a 15,000. They're not going to fill it up. I don't think all 12,000 are coming here to cheer AJ. I mean, I spoke to Brits at the hotel, and they were like, we're coming to support Andy Ruiz. Which is unbelievable. I swear to God. Unbelievable.
Oh, they travelled from England to support Ruiz.
They travelled from England.
mental.
They could be Tyson Fury fans. They travelled from England and they're supporting Ruiz.
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
What did you make of Ruiz's weight? Did he look slim to you? Wouldn't it be funny if after all of this talk, Ruiz comes in at 285 or something? It's like, yeah.
Well, it is what it is, homie.
Yeah. What did you think? Do you think he looked slim? He's talking about coming in at the same weight. That seems to be a big bone of contention amongst people, doesn't it? Like, oh, AJ, how much is he going to weigh? How much is Ruiz going to weigh? What did you think?
When I've looked at him, he looks the same as what he did in New York. Like, you won't.
What, in great shape, or?
With Ruiz, you won't be able to tell until we actually see him on the scales.
Yeah.
I don't think it much matters, does it?
I don't think it matters for him. He's someone that's used to walking around at that weight.
Yeah.
I mean, I think AJ's weight is the issue. It's that lactic acid. It's all those muscles need oxygen. All blood has to go around them. And even yesterday, as much as he looked small at the public workout, even yesterday he still looked quite bulky.
Yeah.
I mean, people are acting like he's a skinny dude. He's not a skinny dude. He's still a 17 stone, 6'6" man. I mean, he's no small guy. I just hope that, again, speaking to John David Jackson, he was like, that extra weight that he had could help him with punch resistance. Losing that weight, I don't know. Will the punch resistance speed?
Will he be able to punch as hard without the weight on him as well? I do like, in theory, I do like the shift though back to the kind of the more sleek Joshua,
Olympic looking Joshua.
Yeah, or kind of like, even if you look back at kind of the Charles Martin version, I feel like he went away from being the combination puncher that I feel is his best strength. He's not a one punch knockout guy. He's not a Deontay Wilder.
He isn't that, is he?
Start you guy.
He's not.
I mean, Rafael Zambano, love, he knocked out with one shot.
But he got up. I mean, it wasn't like he got put to sleep like a Spilker.
Yeah, I mean, most of them
get up.
Yeah, they're combinations, and I think he's thrown less and less combinations, or he's been throwing his shots in 1s and 2s, really since the Povetkin fight. Takam, he kind of laboured in that, and he looked heavy in that.
18 stone 4.
Yeah, so dropping back down in weight, I don't think is necessarily a bad idea if we get to see like the combination punch and the speed back in his work. I think that's what it was either Dominic Brazil or Charles Martin. They mentioned that somebody said about, what was his punch power like? And he said, well, it wasn't the power, it was the speed. I can't remember which one it was. I mean, both with plenty of shots, but he didn't hit Charles Martin with that many shots. He just hit him with enough.
He decided, that's enough.
But yeah, I think he has missed out on that speed, and I think the drop down in weight will be a benefit on that side. But I think the punch resistance is a good point.
Is that a McCracken issue? In terms of you win, is it because we're winning so we don't change it?
Well, I don't know how much Rob McCracken has anything to do with his weight. I mean, a lot of heavyweights.
I'm talking about the combinations and all that kind of stuff. The combination punches, the speed.
Well, he's brought in obviously Angel Fernandez and Joby Clayton now, who are obviously working on the pads. But apparently, they've taken that over, and McCracken's taken a step back from the pad work and all that.
I don't see how you can make that change in 5 months. If I'm honest with you.
Yeah.
I mean, look, he's never going to be as fast as Ruiz. And he's probably never going to throw as many combinations Ruiz. Ruiz was throwing 3-4 punch combinations. He ain't going to do that. I mean, I don't know, man. I feel like we're trying to change too much. And I don't think you can do all that. He's going to return to type. And if it doesn't work out the first 2 rounds, he's just going to go to the corner. He's going to revert to what he was before.
I don't think that's... I don't think it's necessarily a bad idea. I agree. I think too much change, in a sense, is not necessarily a good thing. I think Anthony Joshua made his name in his career as a knockout artist.
That's what it was.
Yeah, not a one-punch guy, as we've just said, but like going in there, letting your hands go, hurting guys and putting them away. And I don't want to see him go out there and box like Jersey Joe Walcott or try and fiddle and mess about on the back foot. So, yeah, he probably needs to be a little bit more athletic and a little bit speedy, but I do think he still needs to make a dent in Ruiz. He needs to hurt Ruiz, and to do it, you're going to have the weight on you.
I think the thing is, I don't know how true it was, but obviously I saw that thing on Twitter about apparently the ring is 22 feet in Saudi, and in UK it's got to be 20 maximum. I don't know what it is in the United States, but if that is deemed to be true and it's a bit bigger out here, it does kind of lead you to imagine maybe AJ's going to be looking just to box and move.
Yeah, but it doesn't necessarily, which it's a good point. It doesn't necessarily mean he's going to be moving an awful lot or spending the whole time on his bicycle. He's not going to be Muhammad Ali floating around the ring. But it will obviously give him a little bit more space to find exits and find little half steps and to get away from Ruiz.
What shocked me in the first fight as well was that he was on the back foot.
From the opening bell.
Boom, I'm on a back foot fight. I'm thinking, what are you doing?
That kind of sniper.
You're supposed to be that big, strong dude that's going to walk him down. You're walking back. And that was quite strange. And Andy Ruiz knew how to cut the ring off as well. So yeah, the ring could be 22 feet, but Andy Ruiz knows how to cut it off. I think what Rob's saying is correct. He's got to land something early just to get that respect.
Just a straight right hand, a stiff right hand, just to let him know that I'm still here, I can still punch. Just not forget he had Ruiz down in the first fight. Had Ruiz down, fairly heavily. People seem to go back and say because Ruiz managed to get up, and obviously what happened afterwards, that he wasn't hurt. He was hurt. He got caught by a big shot.
And he was shocked as well.
Yeah, so he needs to let him feel that again, but without getting overly excited, in my opinion, and rushing in, leaving his feet behind him and going a bit gung-ho. But I don't know, I think Ruiz is just going to be full of confidence, isn't he? He knocked the guy out 6 months ago. All the noise that was coming out of the fight afterwards was just like,
something's wrong with Joshua.
Yeah, no one was talking about the fact that Ruiz did get up from that shot, and I felt like he was pressing the fight and had the better of the fight without really making too much of a dent in Joshua. It was kind of Ruiz's type of fight.
Joshua never looked hurt though. There was never like a heavy knockdown. They're all like stumbles and do you know what I mean?
He's one of those guys though. Some fighters I think. When they get hit, it looks bad, and some fighters it's a little bit odd. Vladimir Klitschko was kind of the same when he used to get hurt. You look at Corey Sanders, kind of have like a weird delayed sort of reaction to go, and they go down in stages rather than somebody like I don't know. Amir Khan, his legs go like he does dance and he can end up going. So I don't know. I think Ruiz. Spoke to Joseph Parker a couple of times about it. Obviously shared the ring with both of them. He says Ruiz punches a lot harder than Joshua. And you just kind of think
wow.
Really?
See, that's something we've not taken into consideration. Ruiz's punch power.
Yeah.
Because Joshua, every time Ruiz got close, Joshua did hold, almost fearing that power. He's a big guy. We forget he's a lump himself. It might not be Greek god and six-pack and delts and triceps and biceps. I know my stuff, but it could be just a strong punching dude as well.
I think that's one of the biggest things that AJ might have to overcome on Saturday is the psychological aspect. As soon as Ruiz hits him, is he going to start thinking about New York? Is going to start thinking, can I deal with the punches that Ruiz is going to start throwing at me?
In that split second as well, getting hit, you don't know, and he doesn't know until he goes back, until he actually goes into the ring and gets hit. Nobody knows, including Anthony Joshua, how he's going to react and how he's going to feel when he takes those punches.
Let's not forget though, with Joshua, we have seen him overcome adversity. Yes, it wasn't against Ruiz, but he did get up. But we did see it against Klitschko, so we know he can get up. We did see it against Dillian Whyte. Povetkin hurt him in their fight as well. I think people forget that. So it's not like one to shake. He gets hit, he will keep coming forward. And those guys can all bang, let's be honest. I mean, Whyte, Povetkin and Klitschko can probably hit as hard, if not harder, than Andy Ruiz.
Klitschko for sure.
Yeah, exactly. So I think he's going to handle himself well. And saying all that, if I had 50 quid, which I don't, because I'm broke, but if I did, I know where it's going. And it's going to Viva Mexico. I'll tell you
I think he's got to be the favourite going into the fight. But I don't like... No outcome in this fight, I must say, no outcome in this fight would surprise me.
I think one of the things that makes it really hard to try and make your mind up as to what's going to happen this week is AJ's been kept behind locked doors. You haven't really had close access to him, so you haven't been able to find out the nitty gritty as to how camp's gone, etc. Even the new guys that have been brought in, we haven't really been able to get access to them to understand what they've been working on with him, which would have been a huge telling factor for us and helped our opinions on the fight.
AJ bringing his sparring partners here, and what we are now 2 days out. He sparred on Tuesday. That's, people say that's good. He's sharpening his tools. I think that's dangerous.
Joshua Boatsy spars on fight week though, so he spars on a Tuesday as well, which I always thought was a bit strange. But I mean, there is precedent for it. Obviously, they're from the same stable, from the same.
Obviously, they're not going to go 100 miles per hour and bigger gloves, etc., headgear. But I mean, I don't know that. You'd like to think the game plan's done and set. We're ready. We're just going to hit the bag, get loose. I don't know. I'm concerned. Again, we're talking possibly different tactics. He's had a different voice in the camp. He's lost a tremendous amount of weight. He's coming off a loss. There's a lot of pressure on him. Everyone's talking about he's going to retire. There's a lot going on AJ's shoulders right now. A lot. And the fights in Saudi Arabia. And the reason I say the fights in Saudi Arabia is because, yes, we're talking about it being an epic fight. But if I'm Joshua and I want 90,000 Brits behind me screaming literally at every moment. Like, if he's even thinking about, this is getting too hard, that noise alone could raise him up just that little bit. I don't want it to be a quiet atmosphere. I'm not saying it will be in Saudi Arabia, but let's be honest, it's never going to be the same atmosphere that it would be in Wembley or Cardiff. It's never going to do that.
But on the pressure point, he's always going to have that pressure on him now, because he knows if he used to lose one of his next fights, unless he used to lose to Wilder or Fury, people are going to thinking, where does he go? Any other.
You know what it is though, but it's okay to lose to them. This wasn't expected.
Exactly.
It was never okay, and this is no disrespect to Ruiz. I mean, in hindsight, it's a beautiful thing, but it was never okay to lose to Ruiz. So, if Dillian Whyte lost to Ruiz, Dillian Whyte would be getting stick.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Let's be honest, guys. Even if at the time a Chisora versus Ruiz fight was made, Ruiz would be a slight favourite. It wouldn't be Ruiz is going to knock out Chisora in 7.
Yeah, it's crazy. Boxing's
crazy.
Such a crazy sport that you go back at the start of May of this year, Ruiz was he just boxed Alexander Dimitrienko.
Yeah,
he just had his comeback fight. He lost,
top 15 guy, maybe.
Yeah, lost to Joseph Parker. Yeah. And now it's like Ruiz, man.
Yeah, you would have. If someone told you, crystal ball, who's Ruiz going to be fighting in 6-7 months, you'd have been like Kuzman, maybe Kalnacki, Michael Hunter. And this is no disrespect to those guys. Chisora. Those are the names that have been in the mix. Now we're talking about the biggest fight this year, guaranteed, and one of the biggest heavyweight fights in the last 20 years. That's crazy. That's crazy. And we think he's going to win. Even Ben Farooqi behind the camera thinks he's going to win.
I do think he's going to win.
There you go.
It's unbelievable. And only in boxing, I think, could fortunes and kind of opinions change so swiftly as they did in that 3rd round.
And if he does win, obviously we've got Wilder Fury coming up. Well, we say that, fingers crossed, February 22nd. You do wonder if there's going to be like a spanner thrown in the works to make Ruiz versus Wilder Cinco de Mayo. That would be, that Mexican American versus Black American all the belts in America. PBC show, Jesus
realistically,
Christ.
the only chance for that to make an undisputed champion
Well,
in
I
the next
don't
few
know
years
if it-
simply because of
all the
mandatories and all
stuff.
that. It's obviously Purewal and Usyk with the RBF and WBO.
But the the IBF are going to.
They're the ones that will
they'll
come.
be calling their mandatory, won't they? And if there's one thing you know about the IBF is they're not scared to.
They'll be stupid though to not want their belt in that fight.
I mean,
To not want their belt and Pulev fight bloody who? I don't know, Hughie Fury for the IBF title or something.
Pulev Fury 2 coming to a YouTube pay-per-view near you. Yeah, that would be an interesting one. But I think by all accounts, if Ruiz wins the fight, he'll drop the WBO. PBC have completely.
Yeah,
they're not recognising the WBO, and by all accounts and rumours, heavy rumours, will be that Alexander Usyk and Derek Chisora will be fighting for the vacant WBO early next year. So it'll be an undisputed fight in everything apart from having all the belts on the line, which obviously doesn't make it an undisputed fight, but you kind of know who
the top guys are.
Yeah, the winner. Put it this way: the winner of Joshua Ruiz 2. Well, if it's Ruiz especially against the winner of Wilder Fury 2, that's whoever wins that is the guy. If Joshua beats Ruiz, then Ruiz will still be able to say, I won the first fight, it's 1-1. And there will still be those who say, well, you lost to Ruiz and you should give him a rematch before you can kind of really say that somebody is the number one in the division. But
How much does Joshua's stock drop in a loss? Like, realistically, we're talking about a guy that could sell out Wembley, not like that, but could. I mean, does he go from, if he does continue fighting, it's a big if, does he go to like O2 Arena?
I think when we left Madison Square Garden, look how many fans were just absolutely
fans turned on him. The British way, man. Like it just really was just like people like. I mean, there was some abuse being hurled his way, and you just kind of think like, hang on.
What, from fans that went to cheer?
Yeah. Well, you think, well, I'd assume so. They're all Brits, and you think like, hang on, you spent like thousands of pounds to come over, so you must have like quite liked him, and now you've changed that much. So I mean, if he loses again,
oh jeez.
I don't know.
If he loses again, he's then 100% Nigerian. He's no longer AJ the Brit. Let's be honest. AJ, Nigerian born, Anthony Joshua lost to Andy Ruiz.
AJ becomes the Andy Murray.
Yeah, literally Andy Murray. Exactly.
British boxing.
Yes. Oh no.
It is fascinating, and I genuinely could see pretty much any outcome, maybe apart from a Ruiz decision. Purely because, I mean, I still can't quite get my head around the fact that I think the first fight was stopped in the 7th round, so they wouldn't have been counting the 2 knockdowns in that round, but they had Joshua ahead on 2 cards, and I think 1 card was even in going into that 7th round, which is just, I mean...
That tells you all you need to know.
And if he's out here... I mean, Ruiz said himself, we did a huddle yesterday after the press conference, and he said himself that he's worried about the judging, considering what happened in the first fight, and you just kind of think that, like, well, I mean, we've seen it before, haven't we? And not even necessarily, I mean, people talk about Smith Ryder, which was fairly recent, but I mean, you go back, you know, like Lewis Holyfield won, like, you know, people in the biggest fights, people do get...
Social media is a kind of the equaliser in it now, though, that we fans won't hold back.
Yeah, even but is it an equaliser? It doesn't change anything.
It doesn't change anything, but Joshua needs a win, and it needs to be devastating. This can't go to points and like he's won by 2 rounds.
Just win the fight. That's if you're Joshua, just win the fight. I mean, don't get me wrong, I do think to win the fight he has to be aggressive. I think he has to let his hands go, not be reckless, but let his hands go. But just win the fight. Win the fight. Win
ugly.
Win 7 rounds.
Win Parker way. That would be accepted.
Any way you can win. Yeah. Win the fight. Just that's got to be the priority. And I'm sure if you spoke to Anthony Joshua, which we haven't been that lucky this week, he would tell you the same thing. We got an interview with him that ended up being pulled down from YouTube.
Yeah,
mine stayed up.
Yours stayed up.
Boxing Social Mike's in there, so still got that advertising.
Yeah, to be fair, yeah, that's a good point. Okay, look, right, let's have a little skim through the undercard because it is now 2:49 a.m. God, it's terrible.
Andi needs to go home.
And he's not even staying in his hotel.
I am. I'm sleeping on the floor. He's not just going to go in the morning.
Hotel.
Yes.
He's staying in a much fancier hotel paid for by pro boxing fans.
Not true. Not bloody true.
Skim through the undercard. Tom Little.
Yeah.
Start from the bottom and work our way up. No disrespect.
No, I'm about to say that's not nice.
No disrespect, Tom Little.
Start from one of the first heavyweight cards on the fight. That's what
okay, start from one of the first heavyweight cards on the fight. Tom Little has been probably the most interviewed man out in Saudi Arabia.
100%.
This week, he's full of life, full of energy. Is it going to help him against Magomed Arzalov?
No, it's not.
Majidov.
No. It's not. He knows what he's been brought here to do. And that doesn't mean that he's not going to try and win, because he does. You know, he's tried against Hrgovic, tried against Daniel Dubois. You know, he looks in better shape, better than normal. But no, I think if Majidov is as good as we think he could be, again, speaking to John David Jackson, who's his trainer, and they said, look, what they're trying to do is fast track him to a world title shot. You know, look at his amateur record. He's 34.
Yeah, beat Anthony Joshua. How many?
That's his claim to fame. They said they're actually going to use that as a selling point all the time. He beat Anthony Joshua, the 2011 world champs. 3 times world amateur gold medalist, European gold medalist, Olympic Games bronze medalist.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. That's impressive. So, I think Tom will give him rounds, because Tom gives people rounds, but he will, I think, get stopped sort of 4-5 or something.
Yeah.
What is it? It's only a 6-rounder though.
Is it?
I think it's a 6-rounder.
Let's have a look. We haven't actually got anything on this laptop. I know it looks very official having it here, but there's not actually anything on it. It is a It's an 8 rounder.
8 rounder.
I think for Tom Little,
Can he survive 8 rounds?
Yeah, but well, I don't know. We're gonna have to see it. I mean, Magidov's only had 1 fight as a pro.
Yeah.
But the thing that makes this a more interesting fight than just him going in there and beating up on a journeyman is the fact that Tom Little will go and have a go.
Yeah.
He's not gonna. I mean, don't get me wrong.
proud.
He's not. Yeah, he's proud. He's got that. That travelling man, fighting man.
Yeah.
He will go there and have a go. He's not going to be overawed by the situation. He's going to go there. He'll box his fight and obviously hope that that's enough.
And he said he's had some good sparring as well. I think he sparred Joshua. He's been sparring
Dillian White.
I mean, that's top sparring, really. Let's be honest. So let's see what he can do. I hope he equips himself well. I hope he doesn't go there and gets blasted out. To be honest with you.
Yeah.
He's lost his last 3 in a row though. He was supposed to fight Lucas Brown, wasn't he? There's a lot of talk about that fight, and that just kind of fell off. And that would have been a decent little scrap.
I would like to see him fight Dave Allen. Well, I'd like to see the build.
Just want a car crash.
I just like the build up to the fight would be great.
Yeah.
Maybe
what, views for your channel. That's what you want, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, to be fair, that like people who watch our channel will know my kind of feelings about Dave's future in the sport, which I don't really want to get into, but. If there's a fight out there that might do, because I reckon that fight would drum up a bit of interest, wouldn't it? Like the way those two guys are, that would drum up some interest.
I actually personally, I think I've said this on my channel. Go and check it out. But I personally said I don't want to see Dave Allen fight again.
Yeah, I've said this. As well.
I've started to see him slur a bit, and look, people might say yes or no, but you go and watch his interviews 2-3 years ago, and go and watch him now. It's not rocket science. I don't want to see him. I think it takes far too many shots. And no, I have no interest, if I'm honest with you. If he does want to fight again, I can fully understand why he would want to. Then I think a Tom Little fight makes sense. I just don't want to see him in there with a Daniel Dubois who it's like a fucking...
No, and I think like a Dave Allen, Tom Little fight, for the level that they're both at, I think they'd both get paid very well for the greatest of respect. Their kind of standing in the sport and skill level because of their ability to engage with fans and sell fights. I mean, Tom Little's been...
Would you be okay that headline, and this is strange because they're not on next gen fighters, but would you okay that headline on the Saturday night on Sky as a next gen? As a headline? You wouldn't, would you? Let's be honest. No, you wouldn't, would you?
That'd be a good chief support to like a Buatsi versus... Buatsi is just literally the first name that came into my head.
Yeah,
very late. But like a Buatsi Chilemba, or like you could have like a Buatsi Chilemba, and then you could have like a Craig Richards, Shakan Pitters, and then Tom Little versus Dave Allen. That's a good little Saturday
makes sense.
Fight,
I wouldn't mind that.
That's a good little Saturday fight. I like that.
Yeah. If that happens, and then we know you've been watching the channel. Yes.
I don't think anyone from Matchroom watches boxing.
Yeah, Paul Reddy might watch the channel.
Shout out Paul Reddy.
Yes.
So Tom Little versus Matt. What are we going to do? Are we going to do predictions?
I don't mind starting first. I think Magidov, who I can't say the full name, gets rid of him around 4.
Okay. Andy?
I'll say Magidov around 4 or 5.
Copying me, how dare you?
Okay, moving on. I've genuinely not been using this laptop for anything. For anything. Fight next.
Is he actually moving on?
Dillian White versus Marius Wach. White Wach. White Wach.
Oh, God.
I think that this is going to go rounds.
You've been saying this literally is it a 10 rounder?
Yes.
You've been saying this like since it was announced.
You think this tough, is man. And I think Dillian White, with everything that's kind of been going on, and I think that as much as he'd like to go in there and make a statement, it would also be quite beneficial for him to get rounds at this point. Go in there, get a few rounds, tick off a few boxes, get through, and move on to 2020, all being well with everything, which by the looks of things and by the sounds of things, it's going to be, which is not really a surprise to anybody, really.
Yeah.
And then moves on. And I do think this will go rounds. Back has been in camp. We interviewed Al Siesta earlier, people who are fans of the channel will know Al Siesta. He's kind of, I think the best way to describe him is the Winston Wolf of boxing, which I think is a very apt name. But he's worked with Wach, and he said that I think they were offered the Yoka fight, and they were offered, it's late, but they were offered several fights, and he kind of kept him in the gym, and he can, look, Marius Wach is no world beater, but he can look after himself. Went rounds with Martin Bacoli, who can punch, who's fresh, and he was
That's the problem, though, by the way. it won't look good for Dillian Whyte if Martin McCauley gets rid of him and you don't.
Yeah,
That doesn't look
potentially.
good. You know, everyone starts making, people 1 + 1 = 2 kind of formula in their heads. It just won't look good because Dillian Whyte's not. It's not like he's. I think people keep saying that he's returning like he's been injured. There is no injury. We all know the issue, and he's had a fight. When was Oscar Rivas? July
the 20th.
So this is kind of when he probably would have been back anyway.
Around that sort of
Yeah, around that sort of time. So he's fit. He looks in good shape. He has to get rid of that.
Fairly heavy, I thought.
I was being polite.
Yeah, it looked like he put a few pounds on.
Yeah, it looked fairly heavy, which is not obvious. He's a heavyweight, so it's not the end of the world, regardless. And we were just talking about Joshua's punching power being affected by potential weight loss, and then you've got Dillian Whyte, who looks to be a little bit heavier than we've seen him in the past. Maybe that will.
Dillian Whyte's a strange one because he had 3 good wins, and everyone's going to point to those wins: White, Rivas, and Parker. But he struggled on all 3. I know it's a level above.
In the Parker fight,
Dropped in the Rivas fight, and he was losing the Chisora fight. I don't think he was, but he wasn't on the official scorecards until the knockout. Yeah. So he struggled on all 3. So
with the point deductions.
Exactly. So he needs to make a statement, and going points with Marius Vach is not making a statement. Even though Marius Vach is big, he's strong, he's not mobile at all. Dillian Whyte isn't the most nimble either, but he needs to get rid of him. I'm with you though. I do think it goes points, but it won't look good on Dillian Whyte if it
goes rounds. I mean,
yeah, it goes rounds until maybe the referee jumps in. I think. So if it's a 10-rounder, you know what, Marius Vach could survive 10. You know,
he's been there and done it, hasn't he? He's kind of been around the block. Let's have a little look at Marius Vach's box rec. He had 2 very, very soft comeback fights from the Bacoli loss. Lost a split to Artur Szpilka.
Interesting.
This time last year, so he went the distance with Szpilka, who had seen better days by that point, and certainly had seen better days by the time Derek Chisora knocked him out. Was stopped by Miller, I believe, in 10, I think, but we can't see it because I'm not actually logged in on BoxRec. I don't know why BoxRec do that, it's annoying. Let's have a look. That went 9 rounds, so he was stopped by 9. So again,
that's
Miller,
that's a guy that can handle himself.
Yeah. So and Miller was
Miller was EPO'd HGH.
He said
Endura dolled up.
I didn't say it.
Definitely said it.
But yeah. So I mean, and that was an active Miller as well. I think that was that on a Matchroom card. When was that fight? Miller versus Nassau.
2017, probably not.
Dale. Yeah, it was. That was on a Matchroom show, and that was when the reason I say because that's when he was boxing Matchroom. They're keeping him active and keeping him busy. Dillian Whyte, you make a good point of the fact he's not going to box every 3 months, every 4 months, but it does seem to. It feels like longer, than he's actually been out. I think because of all the stuff that's happened.
What's that? What's happened?
Like the stuff that's happened in the middle of kind of the rematch fight and where we are now, it does feel like a long time.
Yeah, it does.
So it feels like we're talking about him getting.
I wonder who he would have fought if none of this stuff. Obviously, he wasn't going to fight Wilder. Who would he have fought anyway if he was legitimately coming off the win against Oscar Rivas? Who? You look at the scene, and I just can't think of who would have fought anyway. What, Kaunaki?
Maybe somebody of that level. Like somebody of that level, whether it would have been him or not.
Probably Hunter, Hunter Povetkin probably.
Either one of those guys.
Probably would have done, yeah.
Who would have fought either one of those guys?
That's not easy. Both of them are not easy at all.
No.
Hunter White would be fantastic.
Yeah, it would be good. Dillian Whyte is an interesting case because he takes a lot of shots and he takes a lot of shots well, but I mean, we have seen him dropped in 2 of his last 3 fights now.
People forget that.
Joseph Parker's not a noted puncher.
No. We didn't know too much about Rivas, did we?
No, Rivas can obviously punch. I mean, knocked out Bryant Jennings, is very durable, knows how to look after himself, but yeah, I don't know who he would have gone in with. I don't know. That's a good point. One thing I think we can be safe in saying is I'm not sure he would have been back on a Joshua undercard. I think he would have probably been headlining his own show.
Yeah.
But he's not. So Dillian Whyte versus Marius Vach. Predictions, guys?
White win, late stoppage or points. Put your house on it.
Same as Andi.
Stop copying me, Andy.
There we go. Well, it's
Rob's going to you first, so I can't say more.
It's too great.
It's true. You know what? Can you go?
I'll go to Andy next. Right, okay.
Oh no, this is for Hunter Povetkin. No, I want in on Melina.
We'll go Hrgović versus Melina next. I asked Eddie why Hrgović had to fight Eric Melina, who's of course had a UCAD ban.
Another one on this card?
Yeah, shocking.
Yeah, wow.
Who had a ban. I think that it actually expired like last week or something, which was very convenient.
Was the ban from the Joshua fight, right? Is that the fight?
Yeah, and then obviously he fought in between them, but it's British Boxing Border Control license. You need, or it's a British Boxing Border Control license show or something that Dylan was saying in an interview. And
oh yeah, of
so
course.
that's what Dylan White is boxing on this card.
Interesting.
Dylan White is boxing on this card under a British Boxing Board of Control license. So people who say that he's fighting in Saudi because he can't fight in the UK, that's not strictly true. If he was unable to fight in the UK, he would be unable to fight on a British Boxing Board of Control license.
Dude, I did not know that, and that makes me even question a few more things. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
We've already spoken about Dylan White, so don't go there.
So moving on. Yeah, Eric Melina, anyway. Eddie told me that they offered Hrgović Bacoli, and Hrgović didn't, or the Sauerlands, who obviously co-promote Hrgović alongside Matchroom, didn't want to fight Bacoli.
Why?
Well, I spoke to the Sauerlands, and they said that was untrue. So I don't know.
You don't know.
People telling Porky.
Who do you believe in that one, Andy?
I've got splinters. I don't know which side.
I don't know. Like, just be honest. If you're, I don't know who's.
Can I be honest with you? If I'm the Sauerlands and I'm getting offered Bacoli, I'm turning that down.
Why do you want to fight?
Why do I want to fight Bacoli?
There's no profile,
and he can
no belt,
punch like a mule.
Yeah, and he's a handful.
And he wants a fight that puts him straight in that top 20 mix.
So if you're Hrgović, or if you were looking after Hrgović, you might think, I mean, I'm sure they do feel like they can beat him, but what's the point? There's easier money on the table. You can fight Eric Melina, who's already been, ironed out by Anthony Joshua. Deontay Wilder beat him in a tough-ish sort of fight. He gave Wilder a few issues here and there. But I don't really see much in the way of issues for Hrgović in this fight. I think Hrgović is a great fighter. He's been matched aggressively. He's been matched very well in a very short space of time in his career. I mean, you look at his record.
Mansour's a tough fighter.
Mansour's a real handful.
He's a handful for anyone.
He's a real handful.
Yeah.
Tom Litton as well.
Kevin Johnson will give you rounds.
Yeah. So I don't really see Hrgović, Melina having too much for him. Who else is he? To be fair, they started off. They matched him pretty tough in the beginning.
Then it kind of slowed down a minute.
Rafael Zambano, we mentioned him earlier. They boxed him in his first fight. Pavel Sauer, isn't he? He was supposed to be fighting Hughie Fury.
Yes, he was, sir.
Funny whole game, this boxing lark, isn't it? Sean Turner, man, like big, sexy. So I think Hrgović is kind of in that position himself. I mean, we've just kind of had a look at what he would say about Martin Bacoli in a sense of, why do I need to fight him? He doesn't have any belt. He doesn't bring anything to the table. If you're like a top 10 guy, you're looking at Hrgović and probably thinking the same, aren't you? You're looking at him thinking, why do I want to fight this guy who's like 10-0?
There's not much money in fighting him yet. Let's be honest. The Sauerlands are not going to pay you a bucket load of money to fight, so they're gonna find it tough to kind of match him up. He's got to go through the mandatory routes, I think, and get these title fights because they're gonna find it tough. But I'm not sold on him, if I'm honest with you. I know I'm a bit brutal. I do apologise, guys, but I see him and I think, okay. I think Yoka would beat him, if I'm honest with you. I think Yoka's, he moves, he can punch. Yoka's like a Michael Hunter. They remind me of the same. I think F.A. Jagba's big and can punch. I don't see much in Hrgović. I'm not being harsh. I just feel like
he's got that very much
European stand-up style, and I think Melina's going to cause him a few problems. I think Melina, put this down, write this down. Delete it if I'm wrong. But I think Melina causes him some problems. I think Melina looks a lot fresh at the public workouts. I was shocked by him. I don't know why, I just expected him to be a bit punchy. But I don't know, he's had a long time out. Remember, Melina hasn't really fought that much in the last 3 years.
Why is that again?
I can't remember. But so that works either two ways. It either means you're not active, so you're a bit stiff, or it means you're fresher.
He's fought once in 2 years, man. He fought Nick Guivas.
Never heard of him in my life.
No. 14.
Who's that? Is he about 50 or something? 41, close.
He is 41, yes. So he's fought once since he boxed Dominic Brazil. If you're wondering why we didn't check this out beforehand, we're just very, very unprepared for this. It's 2 o'clock in the morning. It's actually 3 o'clock in the morning. So yeah, I don't think he's going to cause Hrgović much problems. I think Hrgović, while not the finished products yet, he's part of that kind of next tier of younger heavyweight fighters for me, where you've got him, you mentioned Joker and F.A. Jagba.
Hrgović Dubois right now, who wins?
I don't know. I think that's a good fight, man.
It's a good fight.
It's a really good fight, and I think it's difficult to say. I mean, I think
because they're in that.
They're in that next
tier,
round. But much the same as, unfortunately, they're in the sort of position of even the guys at the top of the tree, the current heavyweights now. You don't really know until they fight each other.
Yeah.
They'll all end up with like the same guys on their record, and they'll
yeah.
end up fighting the same sorts of. Everyone's fought Kevin Johnson,
Oh,
and then they'll end up having to fight each other before they really.
Good little matchup that though, if it happens. Let's see.
I like that. Hrgović versus Dubois. I don't feel like Molina's going to cause Hrgović much problems. Do you?
No, I can see Hrgović stopping him around maybe. How many rounds is he going? I suppose 10 now. Or mid rounds again. I'd fancy Hrgović to get the stoppage.
You?
How many rounds did Tom Little survive?
I think 5 rounds.
If Tom Little can survive 5, I'm no disrespect, Tom. Molina could survive it. He knows how to survive, I think.
Tom Little, if boxed him in his 3rd fight, that is aggressive matchmaking.
That is very aggressive, to be fair.
About
4th.
4th round.
All right, yeah, 5th. I'll give Molina another round.
Michael Hunter versus Alexander Povetkin.
Andi first.
Obviously, the main event is so massive and such an intriguing fight, but this is an excellent fight. I think it's a really, really good chief support. You've got guys at 2 completely different ends of their career. You've got Hunter's the emerging, fresher, younger guy, and then Povetkin, who, you know, he's still doing it. He's still youthful at 40-year-old.
Why is he youthful?
I don't know. But I think this is. I do fancy Hunter quite strongly in the fight, but Povetkin is still dangerous. He can still punch. Don't think he looked fantastic against Hughie Fury.
I don't think you can. I think Pulev did, but I don't know how. But I think Pulev did, but we saw Parker didn't.
No.
Let's be honest. I just don't think. I think Hughie Fury's so negative. You know what I mean? Just a negative boxer. It's difficult to look good against those guys.
Yeah.
And he can take a punch. Hughie Fury can as well. He's not. Hughie Fury gets a lot of things bad written about him. He's not that bad. And I just feel like Povetkin in the end just kind of just outmanned him a little bit.
Just a little bit too much know-how and experience at this point in his career, I think. I mean, we're going off topic here, but I think Hughie Fury needs to rebuild, which is what they were trying to do, obviously, until we had this illness that forced him out of the Monaco card. But kind of went...
What was that, man?
I think if his last name wasn't Fury, he could have probably matched himself a little bit. Yeah. Smart is probably not the right word, because, I mean, we can't bemoan fighters for taking soft touches and then slate somebody like Hughie Fury.
Yeah, but it's almost like, and this is way off topic, sorry, but with Hughie Fury, it's almost like, okay, he's lost to Povetkin, Parker and Pulev. All those guys are top 10. So that's it. We know he can't beat the top 10 guys. Can we match him with someone in the top 20 now?
Yeah.
So let's see if he can beat someone in the top 20. Yeah. Well, they go fucking top 50. Pavel Sauer's not even a top 70 ranked fighter. No. So how can we go from Povetkin to Sauer?
But I think what I was kind of thinking is when he lost, the Parker fight was his first loss, right?
Yeah.
It's late. I think he was in with Pulev like a couple of fights later, and then it was only a couple of fights after that, or 2 or 3 fights after that, where he was in with Povetkin. You just think like, he's young. He's like 24, 23, 24. So take your time a little bit. But anyway, Hughie Fury's not even on the card. So I don't know what we're doing here. So Michael Hunter versus Alexander Povetkin. Andy, talk to me about the fight.
It's an interesting one because obviously everybody's there still thinking, how much more does Povetkin have left in him, as he's obviously gotten older. We haven't seen much of him since
Joshua,
yeah. I was trying to think if he'd fought somebody else before then, after then, sorry.
Oh, Hughie Fury.
Yeah, Hughie Fury, there we go. Well, as we've just touched on it, he's getting late now.
No, I'm not lagging, people.
I'm usually asleep now.
This is the longest Andy's been awake all week.
But yeah, so everybody's waiting to see what Povetkin still has to offer. I mean, on Michael Hunter's front, the new guy coming through, young, moves around the ring very well. I fancy Hunter. I just feel like he's just going to have just too much for Povetkin on the night.
Too much in what sense?
I feel like he's going to be too energetic. He's going to be moving.
I think we do forget that Hughie Fury Povetkin was 12 rounds. And he didn't look like he was gassed in any of those rounds, I'm honest with you. I mean, it wasn't great. It wasn't the fastest tempo of a fight. I mean, and Hunter isn't a 22-year-old. He's 31. I think we think of it as young lion versus old dog. Povetkin's, what, 39, 40? 40. There isn't that much. I mean, there's wear and tear, yes. But there isn't that much difference. He had a long
amateur background as well. So he had a long amateur career.
He has had a long amateur career. But he's had 2 fights that he's lost to, right? So he's lost to Vladimir Klitschko, which was quite a beating, to be honest, and Joshua. So that's as brutal as it's been. I mean, we're not talking about a guy that's been beaten up in 20 fights here and he's just hanging on. I think there's a lot left in Povetkin. I do. I think I was worried to see... Look, some people actually even picked Hughie Fury to beat him. That's how crazy it was. And you're picking a guy that was considered... He's been in the top 10 for the last sort of 15 years. Never left that top 10. I think there's a lot left. In saying that, I think Hunter wins. But I think there's a lot left in Povetkin. I don't think Hunter walks through him at all. I think if anyone knocks anyone out in this, for me, it's Povetkin knocking out Hunter. Hunter winning on points.
See, I think Hunter... I mean, you make a good point about, Hunter's not... He's young in the sense of... He's fresher. He's not young age-wise. He hasn't had a lot of miles on the clock. He had the Usyk fight, which towards the end of the fight got a little bit torrid for him.
Yeah.
But other than that, he's not really taken a lot of stick as a pro. Obviously, he had the long amateur background, knocked out Andi Ruiz in the amateurs, and had a few impressive wins. As a heavyweight as well, might I add. He's not... People say he's a blown-up cruiserweight, but I mean, he boxed as a heavyweight, as an amateur. He's shared the ring with countless heavyweights over the years. But I think the speed is going to be the difference in this fight. I think that's where Hunter has had his success as a heavyweight. Not necessarily his own speed, but his ability to kind of see the shots coming. I mean, I spoke to David Hay, who obviously made the transition from cruiserweight to heavyweight. So one of the best things for him, or one of the most significant facets of his game as a heavyweight, was his ability to see the shots coming and then either counter, get out of the way, or buy time here and there. And that's kind of what I see with Michael Hunter. I feel like that was the difference in the Martin Bakole fight. I don't think Bakole particularly boxed to the best of his ability that night, making no excuses. But I do feel like the speed, I think
he'll be shocked at Povetkin's speed, though. The heavyweights that he's fought so far, Ustinov, the slowest heavyweight in mankind. Alive. Kuzman, let's be honest, slow again. And Bakole wasn't fast. Bakole's not fast either. I think he'll be shocked at the speed of Povetkin. Povetkin's one of the smaller heavyweights as well. He's not big, he's not one of these 6'6" giants. In fact, they're head to head. Hunter's pretty much exactly the same size. So it'll be interesting. I've been very impressed with Hunter, but again, it's Ustinov, it's Kuzman, and it was a young Bakole. This is a completely different level of heavyweight here. It is, yeah. So we'll see how he handles, again, a guy that I think's top 10. No worse than 10th as Povetkin for me.
And he has been for a long time.
He has been for a long time. And again, his only losses, and we'll say this again, fresh Klitschko. Everyone talks about AJ Klitschko or Fury Klitschko. We're talking about the Klitschko and Joshua, and he caused Joshua problems in that fight as well. On the big stage. He's fought on the big stage many a time. We always talk about those big stage fights. He doesn't have it. He's been there. He's done it. Olympic gold medalist. I'm really selling him now. I just think he's got a chance. And I think, for me, it's my fight of the night by far. I know the intrigue of Joshua Ruiz, but in terms of these two just going to the centre of the ring and going boom, I think there's no fear from both of them.
It can't be the fight of the night.
Well, I get Joshua Ruiz.
It can't be the fight of the night.
I think in terms of
I know what you're saying.
Yeah, I know. In terms of it being war, it's 3 in the morning. In terms of it being war, I think it's going to be a war between those two. Yeah. Should we quickly mention the young kids, 2 undercard kids that we haven't mentioned?
Mentioned Hopi Price and Diego Pacheco a little bit. I don't really know too much about their opponents. Does Hopi Price have an opponent? He's got an opponent with a winning record.
Yeah, he's fighting a guy from Tanzania who I think has lost his last 3. But again, even the 3 that he's lost, one was like an African bantamweight title fight, and he lost to another guy that was like 21-7. So his opponent's not been losing to bums either. Yeah. And some of these Africans, I mean, this is their lottery
Hassan
ticket.
Maquinho.
Well done, good man. Yeah, there you go.
Hassan Moutinho.
Well, the guy that beat Sam Egginton.
Yeah.
Beat your friend Sam Egginton.
Smashed him to bits, didn't he?
There's a lot. Obviously, I don't know the ins and outs, so I don't want to. In fact, I don't want to start going over all that because.
Was you about to give Sam Egginton an excuse there?
No, I was going to say because Sam had the fight in Vegas lined up against
Brandon Rios. That was here. That was supposed to be for London, wasn't it?
No, it was supposed to be in Vegas.
Supposed to be where?
I thought that wasn't that supposed to be. Yeah, no, yeah. Why do I think that was supposed to be the Joshua Povetkin undercard?
It was supposed to be the Joshua Povetkin.
No, he had a fight. He had a fight in Vegas lined up.
Okay.
I don't think it.
If you remember, I feel like saying Danny
Sure,
Garcia.
it was Joshua Povetkin.
No,
I'm sure it was Joshua Povetkin. Yeah,
It was the
Brandon Rios for
Brandon
Povetkin
Rios
undercard.
on the Povetkin undercard. Let's have a look. Hassan Wach. So what are we doing?
Why are we doing this?
It's fine, it's okay.
And you're not even going to spell his name right. No way.
I did say I didn't want to get into it.
Close. Did he lose his last fight?
Oh, there you go, mate. See, Hassan Wach. No, he scored 3 knockouts since. He's a dangerous man.
Yeah, and he's been begging for the Egginton rematch. Like, come on, call me again. No calls.
No.
You say that, I remember after he beat Egginton, he went running around to the sky cameras going, I want Cal Brook.
I want Cal Brook.
Dude,
Yeah, why not?
Man. Dangerous man.
Yeah, no, so that was on the 8th of September, and correct me if I'm wrong, Joshua Povetkin
21st.
Oh, yeah, it was that card.
was that month.
Literally supposed to be like a little warm up. Yeah, then
September
boom.
the 29th,
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah. And it didn't quite work out that well.
But
Why
anyway,
have we talking about
Hopey
him?
Price, not Sam.
Oh, that's why. Yeah, Hopey Price. Yeah.
So yeah,
So basically, we're trying to say that Hopey Price is fighting a Tanzanian guy. It could be dangerous as well,
it
basically.
could be dangerous like Hassan Moutinho.
Yeah.
Because he's Tanzanian.
Because that makes sense, doesn't it?
Bit of generalisation, but I'm sure it's okay. It's the old adage, isn't it? Like
Yeah.
Mexicans are tough and
Which is true.
yeah.
At the lower weight classes, I think we've seen it. They are clenbuteroled up.
There he goes.
Yeah.
Clenbuterol rolled up.
Yeah.
I was thinking of starting to take Clenbuterol. Well, because my theory on it is, I'm not in combat. I'm not fighting anybody.
Is it not illegal though? I'm confused.
No.
It's so you can just what? You can just go to your local doctor and get it.
I get a
prescribed.
TUE.
Yeah.
Diego Pacheco.
Don't know. Diego.
All 7 foot of him.
I watched him in LA on the Castle Logan 4 fight, the card, and he impressed me a lot. He's very good ring generalship, moved around well.
I think you're lying. I don't know why I just think you're lying. It sounded too good to be true.
He
You just
honestly,
said that. Okay.
he honestly impressed me a lot for a 6'4" middleweight as well. The way that he moved, he picked his
How
shots
tall's Callum
well.
Smith?
6'4".
Okay. Oh, that's tall then, isn't it?
Yeah.
I feel like Callum Smith looks taller than
Might even be 6'3".
Yeah.
Callum Smith. So.
Rob's about to check the heights of the fighters because it's very important.
Diego Pacheco.
It's very
Yeah, I think
important.
like Hamza Shiraz at like middleweight. So
Yeah,
he's like
it's
6'4".
ridiculous.
Another like 9 foot tall boxer. Diego Pacheco.
So he looks about 12 in that photo.
Is he fighting at middleweight or is he fighting?
No, he's fighting super middle.
Yeah, I thought he was
super middle.
Anti-
Oh, he's there!
Ben Farooqi.
Ben Farooqi's in the building still, people.
Ben Farooqi as well as all.
So it's Farooqi now, right? I've got it right, yeah?
Yeah, he was Farouk before.
Farouk before Farooqi. Well, what's E between friends? Yeah.
Yeah, so Diego Pacheco's tall.
Yeah.
And that's about it, really, at this point.
Well decorated.
No, to be fair to him, like Andy was saying, you said you watched him at the KSI Logan Paul and he could move, he could box.
Yeah, he did look good on that course.
Yeah.
I remember watching
Who was he fighting though, Leon?
Well, I mean, he's 18. He's 18. I mean, again, going massively off topic. Just realised I was showing off my feet to the world.
He's an 8-time national.
It's my hotel room. If you don't like it.
What? Say that again, Farooqi?
8-time national champion, Diego Pacheco.
8 times.
I actually didn't know that.
Sure, I'd heard
What,
it.
Golden Gloves?
You hear it
or
so
some
often from
tournament in
everybody,
Mexico.
like-
Not being like just because he's Mexican, isn't it? Right?
Well, Eddie said that when they first started his
Yeah,
professional
box
bout, he had to
in
fight in
Tijuana,
Tijuana.
yeah.
Because he was 17.
Eddie going around the law? No.
No, what? No chance.
Definitely not.
No chance. So that's the card, isn't it?
That's pretty much it.
How would you grade this card out of 10?
The main event is juicy. It's very, very nice. And also is Hunter Povetkin. But
The rest of it is meh.
I would much rather see Majidov versus Hrgovic. Or Hrgovic versus White. I mean, everyone loves a heavyweight ding dong, so to speak. But
Yeah.
it would have been nice to see like a couple of top 10.
Carol Quigg, I wanted to see.
Carroll Quick would have been
that
decent.
would have been good. Jonah
A couple
Carroll's
of top
got a point.
10 sort of smaller guys in there.
There was talks about Kell Brook, and he still vanished
Yeah,
from
they were going to put me with you.
anyone. I'd prefer to see Kell Brook versus anyone than Tom Little versus Majidov.
Brooke
I would have said
McQueen.
that before I watched
No.
it.
Brooke McKeown, why not? Winner gets the Eggington rematch. Yeah, that's
No,
good.
I gave it like a 6-7.
6-7 out of 10. I think the main event is.
Does anyone care about undercard matches? How much do you really care? Like really?
I mean, I care a lot about it because we will sit through the whole.
Was there any undercard match in Rumble in the Jungle? I have no idea.
That's a good point.
Like I'm not even joking. Was there any even undercard fights? There must have been, but I have absolutely no idea. In the issue, for a minute, I have no
The
idea.
photographer from the Rumble in the Jungle fight is at this fight.
He is.
Yeah, he got a shout out in the
That's unbelievable, wasn't it?
in the press conference.
Yeah.
How good a photographer do you have to be to get
Get a shout out
in
from
the press
Michael
conference?
Buffer. Just like, yeah, here he is.
Buffer.
Yeah.
Buffer's loving life.
It's great life, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean,
Let's get ready
to Rumble,
Go around and
give
say
me
5 words.
500,000.
5 words.
You owe him some money now.
Buffer. Oh yeah, shit.
Copyrighted that shit, didn't you?
Sorry, Mike.
He actually didn't shake my hand. I sort of interviewed him.
He was fist
And it was
bumping.
like, yeah, fist bump, and it was like germs. I was like,
People
who's
do
got
that.
germs?
People do that all the time now.
It's weird in boxing, and we're going off topic here, but it's fine. It's weird because boxing is divided by handshakers and fist bumpers, and I always find myself always guessing wrong. Go up to somebody and go, "He's a fist bumper, isn't he?" And then you end up with that weird.
No, but I actually put my hand out to shake, and he was like, "What are you doing?" No, and he was like, and I was like,
he's not
"Oh."
been very well this week, so I don't think he's.
Oh, so when he said germs, he was talking about his own germs.
What did you think he was talking about?
I thought
Your
that's
germs?
what I thought.
That's brilliant.
I thought, what's going on? Is this a racist thing here? I didn't know where we were going with it. But I was like, okay, it's fist bump, my man.
Excuse me, get away from me.
Yeah, pretty much.
I don't like your germs. I always wonder if Michael Buffer speaks that way, like when he's at home, like walks into the kitchen.
How long till Diamante takes over?
I don't know.
Because like he's
You
obviously.
should be doing it now.
You think so? You think?
Diamante.
If I'm a fighter though, I do want to hear.
Yeah,
if I'm a fighter, I want to hear. Let's get ready to rumble. Diamante has
not
no
necessarily
catchphrase.
that. Like, it's not even about the fighters. Like, if you're a casual boxing fan, like
You wanna
people
hear
know
that.
Michael Buffer. Like, Michael Buffer is
Yeah, but
an
we're
institution.
gonna-
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think
I like what they're doing there, where Diamante gets all the undercard fights and the undercard press conference, and it's like it's slowly happening, isn't it?
David Diamante seems like the coolest man in the world. So I can't ever imagine him harbouring any ill will towards Michael Buffer.
He's probably
But do you
getting
ever-
paid
do you
well.
ever
He's
think,
all
like,
over the place. He must love this.
Some one day, like Buffer, Diamante, like tries to hide his shoes or something before they go out.
A
or
little
like-
something in the drink. Not to kill him, I'm saying just to get him a bit more drunk. Not to kill him, I'm saying just to get him a bit
Dark.
tipsy. Like, you know, like, David, I can't do this. Can you help me? Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I remember when Michael Buffer introduced Gary Corcoran as Gary Gallagher before he boxed Jeff Horn.
But don't you think
It's like a Wednesday.
Don't you think it's
morning.
losing its appeal a bit because we hear it now at every single fucking card? Like, not every, but nearly. Like, before it was like only these special events we hear. Let's get ready to rumble Michael Buffer. Now I feel like every matchroom card I'm fucking hearing it.
It's because they've signed him.
They signed him.
But it loses its appeal. It's
I
like,
want to see Michael Buffer.
Commonwealth title, really, Michael
say,
Buffer.
let's get ready to rumble a next gen show in Peterborough.
Then it's fucked. Then it's done. Then it's done.
Bit of that from Michael Buffer. Why not?
Is he better than Jimmy Lennon Jr.?
I like Jimmy Lennon.
So do I.
don't-
Yeah,
what
it's
con-
showtime!
what
But those
I don't
are the
know how
two, though,
you
aren't
judge
they?
the difference between them.
Remember the Mike Tyson, Lennox Lewis, and they both done it.
Yeah, I also remember when they did it for Mayweather Pacquiao, and I think Buffer had like a cold or something when he was doing
So he
the
lost the
intro.
battle.
Yeah. Oh, I wouldn't be right without reminding our good friend Darren Barker about when Michael Buffer introduced him as Darren Baker when he boxed Sergio Martinez. Shout out to Darren Baker.
Oh, it's wrong to you. Darren
Former
Baker.
IBF World Middleweight
By
champion.
the way, what a good job him and Chris Lloyd are doing.
Brilliant job.
Like, honestly, great
Brilliant job.
stuff.
I think this is kind of the any other business part of the podcast. Ben, do you want to come in for this bit?
Ben, do you want to stop? Yeah, let Ben go
Lie
on. No,
across
no,
the
go on,
front.
Ben. No, go
Lie
on.
across the front.
Go on, man.
and sit
Come
on my
on.
lap.
No, I can come
So
out.
I can come in now.
Are you going out?
No, I can come out. Go on. Get in, Ben.
Okay, Andy's coming
I
out.
don't want to talk to these two.
You don't want to talk to us?
The problem is, I will probably talk more even here.
You
Like
should-
I'm
why
doing.
don't you just... I don't
No,
know.
I'm alright, because I can just check my views on YouTube.
check your clickbait
Yeah, he
news.
likes to go on social media, that's it.
He wants to check his clickbait
Oh
news.
yeah, Robin. We're on 1,700.
That's good, man.
Yeah, that's not bad. But then again, that's
What time
1,700
did you-
here, so that's probably like 3 or 4.
You want to check your analytics on
Yeah.
your YouTube channel.
Can't be asked.
Hello, Ben.
Oh shit, Ben Farooqi's in the
Ben
building.
Farooqi from Boxing News TV.
Wearing black as well. What's this black thing you guys are doing? Is there a reason you're wearing black, both of you?
I wear black because I'm
got a fat dog
fat.
I just wanted to know.
So if you wear black, it's supposed to make you look slimming.
Just breathe in a bit. Are you guys excited for the weigh-ins tomorrow?
My way in, or
Not
We don't have a scale big enough.
I'm paranoid that Joshua's going to come in lighter than me. If Joshua comes in lighter than me, then that's it. I might as well
What
just
weight
do
is that?
myself.
So our viewers
Last
know.
time I weighed myself, I was 17.2.
Fuck, he will come in low. He will.
So yeah,
pounds.
I don't know.
Oof, that's
All I know is we're about 200 some pounds.
40, 250.
Any heavyweights out there need sparring. I'm your man. Although no VADA testing, please.
Are you excited for the weigh-in though? I don't really get excited about weigh-ins anymore.
I'm not sure what to expect because the workout, although the workout was cool.
Andy
But-
Ruiz was impressive at the workout.
Yeah, but I mean, like the vibe there was a bit. It was a bit. I'm not expecting it to be like. I mean, you go to a Joshua. You've been to Joshua fights and stuff. You've been to big fights, and the weigh-ins can be electric, man. The atmosphere is brilliant. I'm not sure if
Yeah.
it's going to be like that tomorrow.
Without the fans there, it's going to be.
Yeah, but this is something they've got to build up in the country. It's not going to happen overnight. It's completely new to them. This way of doing things is not how it's been done here.
I'm just talking about allowing the Brit fans that have travelled thousands and thousands of miles to be there at the weigh-in.
I think that they were all right. Though, is it open to them? I don't know because the workout was a bit different. I thought the workout was open, but apparently it was invite only. But I mean, I don't.
I think because this is at the hotel, probably, yeah.
But it could be still a sectioned off area of the hotel. We don't really.
Sexual
know.
off.
Like you.
Oh,
still
sexual.
Yeah, sexual area.
I don't know if it's sexual off. I really don't.
This is definitely the any other business part of the.
Andy, are you awake here? What are you doing? Like, you're not talking.
He's pretending to be awake.
He's doing what he usually does, which is he starts being quiet.
Yeah, and then
then he'll get his phone out, and then all of a sudden you'll look over and he'll just be like,
bit of dribble.
wake up, have something to eat, go back to sleep. Andy's the youngest out of all of us and needs the most sleep. It's terrible.
Just jealousy, but I'm getting the sleep.
What's the next big fight card after this?
I don't care. I'm
Crawford,
done.
Kaviluskas.
After
When's
this,
that?
I'm done.
December
14th.
14th.
Crawford versus who?
Kavanauskas.
Well, you guys pronounce this as bang, like.
Mean Machine. That's also
Good fight.
Teofimo
Great fight
Lopez.
card that no one knows.
Teofimo Lopez, Richard Comey,
Oh, yes.
Michael
Very good
Conlon
fight.
versus Vladimir Nikitin. Is that his name?
That is the guy from South Africa.
No,
No, you're talking about the guy who lost to in the Olympics,
Olympics,
one of the
yeah,
fingers, all that
yeah,
kind of stuff.
yeah.
Okay.
Pow.
And then you've got Phoenix, and then on the 28th it's
Phoenix.
Davis Gamboa.
Big
and
time,
Badou
you've
Jack
forgot
versus,
next gen.
Next gen.
React
The
Power
fight
must say.
before Christmas.
Let's not forget
There's
Frank
a panda
Warren's.
at that one.
Frank Warren's got a great card as well. Copper box, Fujimoto,
Yeah, the
Daniel
panda's
Dubois. That's
there.
going to be
The
great.
fight before Christmas.
Yeah, it's a great card.
Sonny Edwards on that card. I think that's I mean, I'm done.
Let's also not forget Chris Eubank Kobarov. Korobov, that's what I said. I said it.
Jamal Charlo versus Tony Harrison.
Yes.
When's that? That's
Hogan,
next
the other
year.
Charlo versus
Jamal
Hogan.
Charlo versus Dennis Hogan. Jamal Charlo, Tony Harrison. When's that? Is that this year?
I feel like it's this year.
Is it? I don't know.
Isn't that the same night as Korobov? Isn't that the main?
No, that's Charlo
that's the other
Hogan.
Charlo, isn't it? And I still don't know which one's which. I just say
Oh,
Charlo.
can you not tell them apart by looking at them?
No, I don't
I can.
look that intensely.
Yeah, of them.
Yeah.
Oh, so yeah, it is. It's the 21st of December. Harrison versus Charlo. That's a good fight. Remember last year? I think their first fight was on the same night as White Chisora 2. I think. So I
Might
remember
have been,
watching
yeah.
it in the O2 on my laptop after I finished uploading, and I'd missed my last train home, so I ended up having to get a £250 Uber home.
Which fight do you think was better, Watch or to Warrington Frampton?
I wasn't at Warrington Frampton, so I don't know.
You watched
Warrington
it?
Frampton
You
was
watched
there.
Yeah, I did watch it. Yeah,
Warrington Frampton.
Yeah, Warrington
Warrington
Frampton
Frampton
was
was
the better
fantastic.
fight. Yeah.
So what were the options? Sorry.
Warrington Frampton or
Right, Chisora.
Watch or 2.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But the one thing is, and it was what will always be the same
Heavyweights,
with
mate.
boxing, well, just the knockout.
Yeah.
People remember the knockout. I don't think Wach Chisora 2, I didn't think was that great a fight. I thought the first fight was outstanding. It was an excellent fight.
Awesome.
I didn't think the second fight was actually was really comparable to the first fight, but you got the resounding knockout in the second fight, and that's what people remember. People don't really care if they see someone laid out on the floor. That's what they remember.
How crazy that White could literally be fighting for a world title before. Sorry, Chisora could be fighting for a world title before Dillian White.
Would you make a Chisora versus Usyk and Farooqi?
Yeah, Usyk all day. I don't think it'll be competitive, to be honest with you.
Oh, hello. Not having that.
And Chisora will make it interesting.
Chisora makes it, mate.
But it's
This new version of Chisora
Usyk's
2.0 is a different beast,
Is it
mate.
2.0 at this point? It must be.
4.0,
There's a few.
yeah,
There's a few.
He is
Chisoras.
built like a truck now, mate.
Yeah.
yeah, but Usyk's too much. He's too good.
I do think Chisora seems to be punching harder than he ever has in his career, but I do think his legs have also slowed down significantly. I don't get me wrong, he was never fleet of foot anyway, but he used to be able to close the distance well. He used to have that kind of almost smoking Joe Frazier. It was obviously his idol when he was growing up, and I do think he's lost a little bit of that. In his
What did
last few
Usyk
fights.
weigh for Witherspoon?
215, I think, around that
Tiny.
260. I'd imagine that's kind of what he was before he cut weight to make cruiserweight. So I just think he probably just didn't cut weight.
I would back Usyk heavily in that fight.
Yeah.
Until I see him take a punch off a heavy hitting
Yeah, he boxed Chaz Witherspoon.
Until
Joe
I
Joyce
see him
as well.
take
Joe
a punch
Joyce.
off
Joe Joyce. Without headgear. Remember when that the Lions, whatever it was.
Yeah. The GB Lionhearts
So- yes.
against the Ukrainian demigods, or whatever they were called. Yeah, I think Usyk's
He's a great fighter, isn't he? Let's be honest.
Got to go.
I asked Dave Caldwell if he'll be getting involved with Chisora again, and he's like, no, pretty much. You just no.
Yeah, I don't
And I
know.
was like, he said they've asked Tony Bellew, and they've not asked. Basically, they've asked Tony Bellew for assistance if they do get the Usyk fight.
You should come over here, man, because people can't even hear you there.
Don't you think?
Well, they can't hear you that clearly.
Yeah. What here?
Come on,
There is no.
pop a
I'm
spot
going to
here.
go right there. Actually, let me go right there. This is perfect.
Because see, I need to use you for clickbait for my thumbnail.
This is good. This is actually quite a good thumbnail.
Yeah.
Why have you still got a picture of Charlo up?
I don't know. Which
You
one
know
is it?
why,
Which
you
one is
know
it?
why.
That's Jamal.
Oh, you saw the tab.
Yeah. Now, even if that was Jamal, I would have said that's the way I
We've
pronounce
got
my name.
massively off the radar here.
Yeah. This should be fun for your viewers, though.
Any final? I don't know, man. They used to see us in like a nice little studio, although they haven't seen us for a while in a nice little studio.
I think some of them though. I see comments when I put longer videos up. They say, "Oh yeah, great. Let me get a coffee." And some of them enjoy the long ones. Some of them.
Well, of course,
are,
all of our
fuck's sake.
bloody videos are long.
Your videos are long.
Yeah, all
Andy
of our
doesn't
videos
talk
are
for as
long.
long as you. Your videos are
I
long.
don't know, man. We both take a while sometimes.
What's been your highlight of this mini trip so far?
Probably the food and the designer shops.
How many designer shops have you been
Yeah,
to?
the food and the designer shops. Great out here, isn't it? No, I don't know. Fight week, man.
Yeah.
Like you go.
I
from-
wish people could. You guys need to do a behind the scenes fucking vlog on
We would
the
go
effort
try
you
to,
do.
but
It's
just
ridiculous.
Too much.
Huh? It's ridiculous.
You
People
spend
don't see
all
it.
your time on your laptop or travelling to or from
Mate.
events or eating really bad food at terrible hours. We had dinner at 1 o'clock in the morning today.
I tried to do a vlog, didn't I, this week, and it's like,
You just can't do it.
You
I was
can't
going to
do
do
it.
it for Fury Wallen, and I kind of thought like, well, actually, hang on, like
No one even wants to watch.
no
Fury
one's
Wallen.
gonna.
it's not that I think
Oh,
people
I told you I
want
was going to
it.
make a fight.
You did. No, you
I told you
did
it'd be a
say
better
that.
fight than
you
it was-
did say,
it'd
but
be a
it was
better
because of the
fight.
cut. But you did say that. I give you
Yeah,
that.
it turned into a decent
No, I
fight.
give you that. You did say it. Yes,
But I got copped a lot of flack for that. Oh.
you did.
But
It's only because he fucking interviews Ben Davison and he's and it's weird how those people just disappear in the comment section. I always look for those people after.
Yeah.
I chat shit. Like, Adi, you don't know fuck all about boxing. I'm like, wait a minute, where are you now, you little fucker? All of a sudden, account deleted. I was like,
yeah, so it's all my fake.
Yeah, I was going to say, oh, right.
yeah.
I don't know what my highlight of the week is, man. Get free biscuits with your coffee.
They're not bad as well.
They're all right.
Can we tell them everyone
but
how
how much does
expensive
your
the
coffee
coffee
cost?
is, by the way?
Well, it depends on where you get it from. If you get it from Facilia,
Facilia. It's like $12, $13.
yeah. But we're not staying in that hotel because we couldn't afford it. So we're
At
staying.
least you
here.
can be guarded by the military while you drink your coffee.
Yes.
Yeah, I had
You missed
Saudi
the fireworks
coffee.
display, by the way, dude.
Oh,
Yeah, I was interviewing Al Siesta.
Fuck. This was better than that. How good was that fireworks display?
That was
That was-
amazing.
It's always fireworks when Al Siesta's about.
yes, that is true.
I had Saudi coffee on Monday when I got here.
Andy
that was
loved
nice,
it.
wasn't it?
And you ate camel
Can't even
burgers.
drink
Can we not talk about your camel
Oh,
burgers as
that
well?
was good.
Camel
Yeah.
burgers were good.
Yeah. Guys, we're on like 10% energy right now, so you got like 5 more minutes of us. 'cause
Everybody's
it's
like
done. Like,
sitting around while we're talking about eating camel burgers and drinking coffee.
Yeah.
Um,
I do hope though that this, who knows, this in 15 years, this could be something that everyone looks back on like, I was there.
Yeah, we were saying
You
this
know what I mean?
before when
Yeah,
we got
could be.
Yeah,
Well,
I think it will be. We just don't realise it at the moment.
What has to happen in report for this to be one of
Neither,
those
that's the
moments?
thing. Either way.
I think, you know what, if Joshua, I was saying this to you, I think if Joshua wins and he does fight at range and he does do this, that sort of tactic that he's not sort of known for, and he wins, then this fight will go down as a big
I
fight.
think any Joshua win will go down as a kind of a significant moment, and let's be honest. If he wins, it's a big thing for British boxing.
It's huge.
So
Yeah.
You said it, who's the next big star?
not any, but a lot of the next kind of 3 or 4 years of the popularity in the UK market will rely somewhat on what happens on
Who is
Saturday
number
night.
2 to him?
Tyson Fury.
Is
And
he
he
number
doesn't-
wise? You think he is number wise? Like,
Yeah.
like I know
Yeah.
his popularity
Oh,
is,
definitely.
but number wise,
Yeah, definitely now, particularly now the PR work they've done with him in the last
Yeah.
Been epic.
9 months or so, or last 12 months since that Wilder fight was fantastic.
So you think if Tyson Fury had a fight in the UK on pay per view, you think it would do like more than half a
He
million?
has to fight
against
top
against
opponent.
who though? Like if he has
No,
to,
I mean
if he
like
has to fight, if
Dylan
the
White for
Wilder
Oscar Rivas, for example. Everyone said they're about 300, right?
or like 279. Or
That's
something.
not a bad number for Oscar Rivas.
I think Tyson Fury does significantly more.
So if Tyson Fury for Oscar Rivas in the UK pay per view, you think it would go 3-4 like
Probably do. I think it probably would. Like if he did it now,
yeah now yeah.
because of all of the big push that they had, even back then, you know, even back when Dillian White boxed him, then yeah, I do. Yeah, big name, big name.
Yeah.
And particularly now with kind of all of his WWE exploits.
I'll be honest with you, I completely forgot about him. What about number 3? That's what I was actually thinking of. Like, where's the
This is
drop
thing,
off?
After that, where
Probably
do you
Amir
go?
Khan.
Yeah, what does that say?
Even yeah, exactly.
What does that say?
Even
about
at this
where we are?
point,
That's why it's kind of important for British boxing.
I think
that he
Eubank
wins.
Jr. should have moved. I mean, like it's all gone wrong. I mean, it's not gone wrong because he's doing well, he's making money, but I think he could have been that guy.
There is literally no successor at the moment, except Tyson Fury.
There is none, and he's 31,
and he's in America.
And
and
he's
he
actually-
doesn't really. And he's
yeah.
put his hand.
Not
You're
not
right.
looking
AJ
like
has
that.
to
For
win
British boxing,
to keep this going.
This is what Al Siesta said this to me today. He sort of has to win for, especially for people like us almost. It's massive.
Yeah,
Even though-
you'd be amazed at the amount of people that we've seen this week who are kind of abandoning all sense of impartiality.
Because they want him to
Literally,
win.
I'm turning up with like Anthony Joshua, AJ boxing tattoos. I know.
No, stay humble, tattoos. Yeah.
But I think we're probably about there, aren't we?
But did you all give predictions before?
Yeah, we did. Big
Yeah.
time.
We haven't for main event, have we?
The main event.
I said Ruiz. I've been saying that.
Okay, yeah, but we didn't say how. Go on.
Okay,
That's
go
true.
on
Go
then.
on.
I don't think he's going to win on points if it's Ruiz. I think he's going to stop him.
Can he win on points?
That's what I mean. I don't know if he can, but I think he'll stop him again.
Go on. Round.
I'm not going to give a round, but I think it'll be late. Not 10
So-
to 12, but maybe a bit before that.
But,
Similar to.
But you know what would be
New York.
interesting? If Joshua takes it past 7, will he have more confidence?
Well, I think the gas
Will he
tank
have any
starts
gas
shitting
tank? Yeah,
himself.
will he have any gas tank?
Like,
That's another thing as well with the weight losses. You don't know how that's going to affect his stamina.
Someone
Doesn't
else,
just being lighter doesn't necessarily mean you have better
Better
endurance.
stamina, yeah. Someone else made a point that just because it's
Where
a
are
bigger
we in
ring,
terms of sea level
it
here,
might
by
not
the
be
way?
612 metres.
I like how you done that
612.
research. Fucking hell.
Someone asked me before.
Oh, okay, I think
612,
how does he know
whatever.
this shit? Okay, so that's not crazy. All right, cool.
But someone made a point that the 22-foot ring, whatever it is, might actually favour Joshua. Ruiz, not Joshua.
Yeah, we said that already. Was you not? That means you wasn't listening, was you? We touched on all this.
Did you say
Andy said it, yeah.
Right, okay.
Yeah, it could be, but yeah, I don't know. I'm tired.
I'm going. Go on.
Andy has to go first, otherwise he'll copy you.
Yeah, hang on a sec, he copied my Hergovich prediction, so...
We don't.
No, I went around after.
I said round 5.
Yeah, I said 5.5.
Before we come out, I was kind of set in my head, I thought Ruiz was going to win a game by a stoppage, but then being out here this week, it's kind of seeing AJ, for me, it's changed my mind a little bit, so now I'm kind of I'm on the fence now. I've got
This is your Arsenal splinters, fucking hell, mate.
Come on, Andy.
He ain't gonna watch this.
Come on, Andy.
Easily,
AJ doesn't watch Boxing Social, you crazy. Come on.
Yeah.
Genuinely, I know,
I only watches Boxing Talk bad day.
AJ never heard of Boxing Social.
We'll do another pod tomorrow, and after the wait, I'll let you know.
That is fence sitting. And you say I'm not gonna copy your prediction. I am going for. Fuck me, I don't know.
That means you want to choose Andy Ruiz, but your allegiance to Nigeria.
That's what's going on. No, that's exactly what's going on. So I'm going to say AJ 6.
Okay. Wow.
AJ 6. Oh, fuck, I'm lying, ain't I? Ruiz 9.
Okay, well, thank you very much for joining in.
No.
I think Andy Ruiz is the favourite in the fight. I don't think you can really look at the first fight and the fact that they're being thrown into an immediate rematch, you can't make Joshua the favourite, I don't think. I think he will have success in the fight. I do think he will look to box from the outside, but eventually he will get hit, and when he gets hit, it all depends on how he reacts to that shot. Gun to my head, not literally, gun to my head, I would go for Ruiz between rounds 7 and 9. But I would not be.
Why did you say yes?
Because that's what I thought. You said 9
I would
and
not
I
be
thought
at all
7.
surprised if Anthony Joshua stops Ruiz.
No, you can't do that. You can't do that. You can't just do what you're doing there. That's too easy.
I'm
That's
just
too
saying,
insane.
Ruiz between 7 and 9.
Okay.
But I wouldn't be at all surprised if Anthony Joshua wins the fight by decision or by knockout. Actually, I probably would be a little bit surprised if he wins it by decision. I think
That's what makes it intriguing. Let me check this as you guys are closing, just in
For him
case.
to take it that far, you think you would be surprised if he went.
I think his best chance is to knock him out for sure.
Ooh, 24.
Yeah. So yeah. Okay. Well, we're about done now. I think it's 3:46 in the morning, which ironically is earlier than I've been to bed all week. And I've now got to edit this. Brilliant. Thanks.
And you've got to edit this tomorrow. Like, this has got to be
I'll
up.
edit this now. But thanks very much for stopping by.
Look at Andy's face. Look how tired
and
he is.
join him.
He's going to sleep until the weigh-in starts.
That's what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing. Fact, yeah. I'm not waking up until 1 a.m.
No, I've got to be at the hotel for early to
Like what?
interviews.
We can do this conversation off camera.
Sorry.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thanks very much for stopping by at the inaugural Boxing Talk with Ade's Social News TV podcast. I've been Rob Tebbutt, this is Andi Purewal, Ben Farooqi, and Boxing Talk with Ade Oladipo. Thanks very much for stopping by. Hope you've enjoyed it, and if you haven't, we're not going to do it again.
Yeah.
So